Welcome to this early access look at a new map being submitted to Giants soon by GBModding. Come along with me, MrSealyp. So then, this is Attingham Park. This is early access map tour. This is by GBModding, who brought us 6 Ashes and Little Norton to console. Now obviously this is not being recorded on console because I've got early access. I'm doing this on PC. However, this is what we are going to be getting on console. I won't be talking necessarily about slot counts because until it actually releases and gets sent in, we won't know for definite, but roughly from what GB has sent me using Giant's kind of tool for working it out, it should be around 477 slots. Should be. That's what we're kind of going to be looking at. Now, this is a very nice map indeed. This is a real place. This is Attingham Park, and it is near a place called Attingham in Shrewsbury, just east of the main town of Shrewsbury itself. I'm kind of excited to go around and have a look at this. Where do we start? Well, we're at the hotel. This hotel in real life is called the Mitten and Mermaid. And we do actually have, just through here, we have a sleep trigger. Now the sleep trigger we start with is sellable, so you don't have to have it here, but the sleep trigger is just there through the courtyard of the hotel, which is very lovely indeed. Let's have a look at the map. So this is the map. This is what it looks like. Now, Attingham Park is like a country park, is off to the north of here. So this is the area south of Attingham Park. This is the River Severn that runs around under here, and we've got the River Tern, I think it is. The River Tern runs down under the bridge here and joins the River Severn. So we're going to go around, have a look at the sale points, have a look at the map, and just get a feel for it. I will probably do I say a proper map tour. This is a proper map tour. We'll do a proper map tour when we get it on console officially released. This is still a little bit of a work in progress. GB's got a few bits that needs to finish off. Did I say what megabyte is? 410.16 megabytes. That might change a little bit too, and this will be submitted to Giants, I think, probably this week as far as I'm aware. So, like I say, we start up here at the hotel, and we've got the sleep trigger we've just looked at. Hotel is a sell point, and we've got the shop and urban sheep clothing, which we're going to have a look at as well. Now, as far as the premise behind the map goes, what you actually start with, now ignore all of these at the moment, I'll explain a little bit more about all of these at the moment. If you come onto your own new farmer, you start with field 35 and you start with the biogas plant. It's always nice to start with the biogas plant. It's only 24,380 to buy anyway, but you do start with it. So the premise being that you start owning or operating the biogas plant, and you've got field 35 next to it, which you can use for making chaff, silage to put into biogas plant, and you kind of build up from there. So you don't start with a huge amount of equipment. Now the reason I have put some money in and bought these, there are 3 farms, and until you buy these farms, the animal pens don't show up, or the silos. The actual tractor sign will be there to show there is a farm there, but we have got Malt House Farm, we've got Brompton Farm, which is down here, which is a real farm that actually exists in real life. And then we've got Crossfields Dairy / farm, which is there as well. Like I say, this is the PDA from the actual area. And we're going to go around and we're going to have a look. I'm just looking down my list. Contracts are available, which is always good to know too. I'm a bit out of sync a little bit here, only because I've been away. I'm not going to explain why, but I have been away, so I feel a little bit disjointed at the moment. Right, from the hotel, we'll whiz round and there's a car park. And we're going to go and we've got a pickup just here. So like I say, slot count is a little bit difficult to talk about at the moment, but I can show you what machinery and equipment and stuff you start with. So come out of the car park, we'll go to the store first, and I think from the store, as you can see, the entrance to Attingham Park is just above there. You can't actually go into it, but we're going to go across the top of the map, then we're going to come back across and then down because of the layout of it. And the River Severn, there's not a lot of crossing points, but the main store is here with the purchase point there. If we come through and out the other side, you can actually get into this area from the side turn in the side road just there, and your vehicle repair customised sale point is just inside the building here. If we go across, we've got the urban sheep clothing store. Now this sell point is in here. You can't open the door from the outside. We have to go in, and then we can open it from there to access the sell point for urban sheep clothing. That's the first couple of sell points done already. So we'll go back out, grab the pickup, and we'll continue on. I'm not going to talk about the vehicles and machinery just yet. As I said, the sleep trigger is sellable, so you don't have to have it where it is. I need to be very wary of the traffic here. As I've always said when I do map tours, I really do like a map that's kind of set in the real world. It just gives you a really nice feel to it. GB's brilliant at doing these. You know, I've made no bones about the fact, and still do, that 6 Ash is one of my favourite maps. It's not everyone's cup of tea, I absolutely know that, but it really is. And when you look out across, it just has a really natural feel to it. It just fits, it works well. So what we're going to do is follow along the side of the park. If I don't end up crashing. Still all over the place today. Next sell point we come to is just here. Oh, that was what I was going to say as well. Hedges do have collisions. Be aware of that. We'll hop out. Oh, that was the thing I was to say. Right. Gates. The gates all open on the side of where the bolt is, but to close them, you actually have to go to where the bolt is to close the gate. The trigger's not fixed at one point. The triggers and all of the gates are actually on the gate itself. So you have to go to whichever. If it's a double gate, you want to go to the one that's got the actual locking mechanism. So here we've got MrSealyp's firewood. We've got wood. I like GB. So we've got a sell point up here for wood chip and lumber at MrSealyp's firewood. Now this map does have custom crops. It has additional carrots and onions. What we will do is have a look into that menu. If we come across, we will see that under Beat Technology, under Vehicles, we've got the Panther 2, which has been set up to do regular sugar beet, but it will also do carrot and onion for harvesting. Under Headers, we will find under Beat Technology, we've got 2 Roper ones, one for carrots, one for onions. We have also got under potato harvesting some extra gear thrown in, so we've got a couple of potato harvesting heads on there. Oh no, so they're toppers. We've got the toppers in there, but we do have that harvester there. So if you want a tow behind one rather than a self-propelled one, there is one that will do your carrots and onions as well. What has also been put in, what was it? We have got under animals. So this is kind of mods that GB has added in. We've got an Aquatrans 8000 GB, 8,000 litres, will take pretty much everything. And there's also under pallets, we have got, that's what was on the pallets we've got a fillable pallet there that's been added in, 1,000 litres. This empty bulk goods pallet can be loaded and unloaded with all bulk goods. So you've got an additional fillable pallet there should you require it. When we were at the store, I meant to say the reset point is at the store. So if you have any problems, any issues, get stuck or bogged down, you can reset to the store. Continuing along. Now, there aren't any other crossing points. I think because GB's tried to keep it as realistic. This is the River Tern we're going over now, which joins into the River Severn. Yeah, because there aren't in real life, there aren't any crossing points across the River Severn in reality. That's been left as it is. So the map feels a lot bigger because you have to kind of drive quite a long way around, I suppose, to get to everything. But I like that, you know. So I know people will ask, is this out yet? It's not out yet. We've got the old watermill at Attingham, sell point just here. And then we've got sweet potato, sell point just there. I'll do what I usually do, and we'll have a look at the map in a little while to see kind of where we're at and where we've been. I do love the addition, the fact it is the old watermill, but you've got the actual old water mill left here. Very nicely done. Now I've been talking a lot about going back onto 6 Ashes to kind of do 6 Ashes and another map leading up to the release of FS22. The kind of the last hurrah, let's plays, that kind of thing before FS22 comes out. And GB did message me to say, look, before you jump back on 6 Ashes, could you hold off a couple of weeks till this map comes out, because you might decide you want to do this instead. And you know what? I think I just might. It feels a bit more open. It's not as sweeping because it's based upon actual landscape. You've got that big sweep down on 6 Ashes, whereas this is the land's a lot flatter generally across the board. I didn't talk about fuel prices. What is wrong with the steering today? It's because I'm recording this on PC and I've got an Xbox controller. I'm a PS4, PS5, so I'm not, much as the controller's almost identical, it's not exactly. Probably just need to turn the sensitivity down just a little bit. But what I do like is like all the custom additions, all the buildings, all the things that have been put in are, it's not, as I say when I do map tours all the time, it's not just plonked down, it's not just found from somewhere and sort of, alright, okay, I'll plonk that there, I'll plonk that there. So, first the farms we're going to be coming to. I think I'm going to point out what these streets are, the actual streets, the glebe, and there's a St. Eat. I'll check it in just a second. Yeah, St. Eater's or Eater's Lane. So St. Eater's Lane, and it's St. Eater's Church, which is just through there. They are real. So we're coming to Malt House Farm. We'll walk around the yard. Now, like I say, these farms you don't own when you start. So you do need to buy them for all these triggers to come up. The gate does open. We'll get around to the horses in just a second. Lots of barn and building space. Each of the farmyards has a central light switch. So if you go around, there are lights in a lot of the buildings. I love that. It looks like once upon a time it was painted blue and it's gradually rusting away and the paint's flaking off. Plenty of barn and building space. And if we come around into here, each of the farms has a workshop trigger, and the light switch is just in here. There we go. So if I turn it on, it turns on the outside lights and all the interior lights and all the buildings as well. So we have a central light switch at each farm. Each farm. So we've got here at Malt House Farm horses and pigs. If we go to the map, we went from here. We've done all this. We did hotel, shop, urban sheep clothing. We came all the way across MrSealyp's firewood. We did sweet potato and the old watermill. Then we drove all the way back again. So we've now come down this side turning. We're at Malt House Farm. So we've got our pigs and we've got our horses. Pigs, this will do 300 pigs at the farm here. There is a silo as well. I think there's only silos at 2 of the farms. I'm just trying to think. Was there a silo at this one? I don't think there was a silo at Brompton, but there is a silo at Crossfields. And I think they're 250,000 each. Although that does say 750,000 total. Like I say, when this comes out on console, we'll check more specifically. Dialogue boxes there for your pigs, for your 300. And then we've got various for feed and water and bedding. Slurry pit is there. And as we come round the back, we've got a manure pit just here. One of those is the manure pit. More barn and building space. And then we come right the way around the back to, where's the horses? The horses trigger is just here. So silos here. That does need to be opened. Ah, it's in here. Our dialogue box for the horses is here. No, it wasn't here. That's for feed and bedding. The dialogue box is around here. This will hold 10 horses. with more barn and building space as we go around. So that's Malt House Farm. Actually, I'll cut across through here. So as I said, then there may be some tweaks and changes, a few alterations between this and the actual version when it gets released, but not many. This is what we're going to get on console. Right, we're going to go over the bridges, over the River Severn, and then we're going to head down and check out some more of the map. There's a load more cell points. I'm having a nightmare. So over the road bridge there is a footbridge as well, which many years ago would have just been the only bridge. We're going to turn left down here. Now I know for some people having hedge collisions, narrow lanes, fences and that kind of thing is not for them, and that's perfectly fine. You don't have to play it. Now on the left, coming up as we get a bit closer to the River Severn, we have got the what's it down this? Attingham Fishing Club. The Attingham Fishing Club is just here. Now this is a little bit like on Six Ashes, where they had the campsite with fishing ponds. If you buy this plot of land, you do get a payout. I think it's every hour, or might be every day. It's not a huge amount of money, but it, you know, it's that sort of thing. If you save up and you buy the plot, you kind of own the campsite and you get a little bit of payment back. But that's the fishing club. Now we're going to head to the livestock market. I really, like I said, I just really like the landscape. I like the way it's laid out. Now often I will go on and show the field prices, and more often than not I'll do that if the field prices are a little bit kind of out there. Sometimes some maps they're very, very high, sometimes they're very low. There's a real mixture. I will show it. I don't know why I'm saying I'm not going to. I like the addition of the fact you've got cows and they are moving, they're not just static in place. So this is the livestock market, as we can see. Attingham livestock sales. Livestock market is just over here. There's your trigger. Then we have got livestock barn, which is a sell point, is just there. Then we've got a purchase point for slurry manure, so a buy point for slurry manure just there. Back to the map. And we came right the way across. We did the Malt House Farm. We've now come down here, down the side of the River Severn. Attingham Fishing Club, manure and slurry buy point, animal dealer, and livestock barn. They're all kind of right on top of each other. It's difficult to tell, but yeah, they're all there. Trust me. Now we could cut right the way across here first, but what I'm actually going to do is go down. We'll do all the sell points down the bottom here. Then we can actually cut across here. This little lane, it does just about bring us up. I thought we'd have to come all the way back up again, and then we'll do all the sell points and stuff over there too. I'm just checking down my list, but I haven't missed anything. Talks about, oh yeah, for planting and seeding for carrots you will use planters. So under the planters, they're for carrots, and for putting onions in the ground, it's the seeders you'll use. Unless actually, I should have checked. Let's go for there. Under potato technology, just I wanted to check the planters, just in case they'd been adjusted to put onions or something and go, no, they just do potatoes too. Worth a check. But it did say as well that on the notes that GB sent me, the addition of carrots and onions, it's removed cotton and sugarcane, because cotton and sugarcane is not something we generally grow in the UK. So those were removed to add carrots and onions in. Thought I should mention that. So we're still heading south, down the western side of the map. And we're going to come to... This is another area where there are a lot of them right on top of each other on the map, but actually it's not too bad when you get here. If we turn in, is it here? A lot of trees. A lot of trees. Right. Turn the engine off again, and I don't know why I did that. We've got county stores and a fuel point, petrol station. I did notice, I'm not sure, this is no slight on GB, it might be the crossover. It could be because it's still work in progress, this hasn't been finished yet. But all those are blacked out at the moment. I did check to make sure I had the correct copy that he sent. There wasn't like multiple copies, I've done the wrong one, so maybe that'll be something that will need to be finished off. I mentioned it, sell point is just there for county stores. From here, shall I try back that way? Let's go that way. I'll make sure I do this in the correct order, or I'm going to confuse myself. Doesn't take a lot these days. So I'm pretty sure the first one was... And this is all pretty tight round here with fairly high curbs as well. My steering is really playing up. There we go. Yep, doesn't want to turn. I've either got the sensitivity up too high, so when I'm driving on a main road it goes all over the place, or turn it right down, it's so sluggish I can't get to do anything. Right, anyway, enough of that. We are at the indoor market. So indoor market sell point is just here. I'm just going to whiz through to this one because we can get through on the pathway here. This one here is Sunrise Bakery. So we've got indoor market and Sunrise Bakery. To get to Sunrise Bakery by road, you go back out that way and you come kind of back round on yourself and drive in through here. But I just thought we could kind of show it straight away because that's there. So indoor market and Sunrise Bakery. Grainco is just here. I'm sure I've missed a turning, but it's fine. Grainco sell point is just here. We'll have a look at them on the map in just a second. Like I say, they're all kind of clustered fairly close to each other. Grainco is just here. It's because I went through the alleyway to show you the Sunrise Baker. I think I should have gone up that road. Oh no, oh no. So Sunrise Bakery is there. We go this way. Might be my controller actually. Right, we have got Lower Cross Sawmill. So we've got wood chip sell point there, as it says, wood chip deliveries. Lumber point is just here. Ooh, skips. As we come round the back here, we've got Lower Cross Dairy, which is round the back there. And again, deliveries, clearly marked. Lower Cross Dairy is just there. And then we have also got another workshop trigger, so it's kind of down as a workshop garage. D&G Auto Repair, so there's another workshop trigger just here. So as well as the ones at the farm, we've got all the ones here. Now, just want to double check and make sure I've done all those. So, county stores, indoor market, Sunrise Bakery, Lower Cross Sawmill, Lower Cross Dairy and Grainco. Yeah, we've done all the sell points. Down here. There is a bit of forestry. Actually, you know what we'll do? While we're here, I have mentioned it a few times and haven't done anything about it. There is a field down here. That's why I suddenly remembered. That one there, field 47, 12,780. So you can start off very small. On a very small field like that. There's another one there, field 44, which is 13,000. And they gradually work their way up. So we have got a real nice selection. 44,000, 49,000. Then we go up to some of the bigger ones. 734,000 for field 16, so they gradually work their way up. Now, as far as, like I said, when you start, you only start with field 35 and the biogas plant. If you want to buy the farms, Malt House Farm to buy is 456,000. Brompton Farm to buy is 213,000. And if you want to buy Crossfields Dairy Farm, 459,760. So if there's something you're going to kind of build up to, the Fisheries Fishing Club is 36,360. Like so, that'll pay you out a little bit. So yeah, there's a bit of everything. They're not all very, very big fields, and there's, you know, some of the Polish maps are all very, very small fields. So it's got a nice selection, starting incredibly small and working your way up, so you can gradually build your way up, especially if you're doing a start from scratch style Let's Play. And I think that's what GB's kind of done with the fact you start with the biogas plant. So hopefully, if I get this right, we should follow this lane, which kind of cuts through the housing estate, which is there in real life, but we're going across the bottom of the housing estate. Follow the lane up, and we should come up towards Brompton Farm. And we're going to go left to Brompton Farm up to the biogas plant, because there's something I want to show you up there, which is kind of the point and the premise behind starting there. And it's a clever little touch. It's nice. I like what GB's done. So this is the field we start with, field 35. It's all grass. So because you start with that, you have got the ability to get cracking straight away with doing some silage work. And again, not another just plonk down biogas plant. We've got a line by point just there. It's kind of custom made per se. So we've got our digester just here, which we need to open. We've got our digestate point, so our byproduct is from here. But what we do have is some machinery. Looking a little bit worse for wear, but we have a Massey Ferguson 9407S, we do have a Massey Ferguson 7722, and we do have some equipment through here. Now this is all you start with. So we've got a loading wagon, windrower, mower, and a little slurry tank. But here's the thing, if we actually go on and check, that one, still doing it, as the garage says here, we start with a pickup. We've got animal dealer cows. Now all of these say mod, but I can't find them under placeables. So these are kind of in place, fixed, I would say. You can sell them. I would suggest I wouldn't, but that's just me. And then we've got the farmhouse doormat. So that's what we start with. But what we have got under leased items, so you do start with some equipment at the biogas plant, but you don't own it. So there are going to be leasing costs. So I suppose you want to try and get as much biogas on the way as quickly as possible, so you can either start replacing the equipment or you've got enough money to just cover the cost of leasing. Like I say, contracts are available, so you can pick up contracts, but you don't start with a lot of farm machinery, so you'll probably start off using their equipment for doing contracts. But like I say, we've got the 7722, 9407, and these are all leased, including the shovel for the telehandler. So that's all here at the biogas plant. From here, we're going to check out Brompton Farm. Which actually you can just see the back of there. I love this, the bits of wall that are broken down. There's a couple of places where it's like that. And the mix of fencing, hedges, brick wall, it kind of just it breaks up the landscape. It doesn't make it feel monotonous and samey. It's a very different feel to this as well compared to Little Norton and Six Ashes, which is great. You know, you can tell who the map maker is, and I've always said that each map maker has their own style, and you can tell when certain maps come out, but it feels very different. Now, when you buy this farm, you do also have access to 2 greenhouses. If I just open up that, you'll see water level, fill level, and manure fill level. So you've got 2 greenhouses, so you've got your manure point and your water point there, so you can make a bit of extra income from the greenhouses. Then if we come into Brompton Farmhouse itself, now you can put your sleep trigger there if you want to. It doesn't have to be where it is at the hotel. Put it wherever you like. We've got a fairly open area here, which I suppose you can put placeables down. As far as I can tell, there are no required mods. There was nothing that said it required any mods. Fuel point, barn space. Now again with this one, we've got our vehicle workshop and the light switches here on the wall. That again controls all the lights for the farmyard. If we come around the back here, we've got chickens here at Brompton Farm. This will hold, I'm just checking my list, we've got 400 chickens we can have here. And as we come round, we've got our first cow pasture here at Brompton Farm. This will hold 200 cows. Dialogue boxes here. We've got a slurry point, feed triggers, water triggers and bedding triggers. But as I mentioned, milk point is just there. For the double gate, if we open the double gate like that, the trigger stays with the gate, and it's this side that's kind of, well, so it hasn't got a latch, but you need to do it from the end of the gate. It did throw me a bit to start off with. I kept thinking, oh, something's gone wrong. Then I checked the notes that GP sent me, which I probably should have done first, in all honesty. And our manure point is just there. So Brompton Farm for cows and chickens. What I do like is the next thing we're going to go to. And I want to show a massive thank you to GP for doing this, because I think it's lovely. But I know it's there on Six Ashes, and because when I did my Let's Play I kind of did a big thing about it. But we've got Mrs. Holland. Mrs. Holland has a franchise, I think. I was going to say Mrs. Holland gets about a bit, but that sounds really dodgy. Mrs. Holland's Village Shop. So we've got the post office just there, and then I think we turn left here, pretty sure we do. This will take us to Crossfields Dairy, Crossfields Farm. And here at Crossfields you have more cows and you have sheep. So it kind of covers all the animal types. Once you've got all the different areas and you've bought them, it will show them all up. I'm going to stop just here by the cattle grid. And we'll nip into the farm here. I mean, it's not something I've mentioned, but you've probably already seen as you go around. It's the fact that all the barns are all different designs as well. It gives you that real feel that as a farm develops and changes over the years, you know, you might have a barn that was built 60, 70 years ago. I know Pemberton's farm at the moment, they're going through their new barn built, and then over time you might have another one built, but you might do it yourself or buy a different company. So you get this mishmash of different barns and buildings as you go around the yards, and I like that. On the end here we get a workshop trigger, and again central light switch for the farm here. This is an interesting one because I thought it was a silo initially, but it's not. It's just a sort of drive-through barn building. So 200 cows here, got a silage clamp just there. Another cattle grid. Milk point is just there. Dialogue box is here, across this bit. Like I say, this will do 200. So 200 at the other farm, 200 here. We got our feed and water triggers. And we've got another silo just here. Slurry point. All very lovely. Now, water trigger is just there. Now, the sheep are a little bit further off. So let's go back to the map. And we went from down here, all the sale points, right across the bottom, up towards Brompton Farmhouse. We took that little side turn in there and went all the way up to the biogas plant to have a look at the equipment and stuff at the biogas plant. We've done Brompton Farm, out past Mrs Holland's village shop and came up here. Crossfields Dairy. So the cows are here, but the sheep are right the way up here in this field enclosure up here. So we have to drive up across the field to the sheep. Now when we get to there, that's it. That's the map. We've kind of been round. Now there's lots of other fields to go into and look at, but as I've sort of mentioned, and is the same on Six Ashes, it's that feeling that even when you're right up close to the map edge, it doesn't feel like the map edge. It feels like it goes on and on. So cutting across the field, we'll come to the ship. I did go along the River Severn just to see if there were any fords or crossing points or anything like that. Any small bridges or anything that you could get across. I couldn't find any, but that's not to say there aren't any, but I don't think GB's put any in. We have a side door here into the building. So the lighting for the sheep farm is up here, but there's not a vehicle workshop trigger. This is all still part of Crossfields. Dialogue box is just here. This will hold 500 sheep. So feed trough is just there. Water trough is just over here in the field. And then we've got the wall pallet spawn point is just over here. A bit more barn and building space thrown in for good measure. Now, as is always the case with the map tour, it's just to give you a bit of a feel for the map, to see what it's like, a few of the features. I mean, I have pretty much gone around and shown all the sale points and stuff as well. When it does release on console, I probably will do one just to talk about slot counts. And also kind of a more of a comparison as well, to see that this is the version that GB sent me, and is it kind of, have we got what it shows here? I don't see any reason why not. GB has no reason whatsoever to lie to me about it. Okay, very well, GB. Is it? Now this is a difficult one for me. Does this place higher than Six Ashes? It's a tricky one, because I haven't really played on it. Six Ashes did a lot more gameplay, and it is a very different feel to this one as well. Like I say, looking across, it just feels more open. I don't know if Six Ashes might still edge it just for me, but this is a very, very nice map, and I've got a funny feeling I'm going to be doing a Let's Play on it. So, as far as I can tell from my list, I think that's it. I hope you found this useful and informative. Like I say, I'm not quite sure exactly when this is going to be submitted, but it is being submitted, it is coming to console. So, coming soon to a console near you. Attingham Park by GBModding. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. As always, thanks for watching.